This is the ThyGap podcast. It is starting right now. Season 2, which episode doesn't really matter. The topic does not matter. I'm your host. My name, who cares? And I'm joined with my co host,
Uh,
who is sitting right in front of me.
hey Bogus, what's up?
Who cares? What's up? Why do we even do this?
It's a good question, but are you expecting an answer?
Nah.
Yeah, so it's a good question. Let's stop it at that.
Yeah.
Bogus, a lot of things have been happening
As they do, as they keep happening.
as they keep happening. As
Every
if,
day.
like we make it happen.
Right.
That's not true.
Mm.
These things just happen. So, in the same note, this podcast also happened.
Yeah, it's happening right now.
It's happening right now as we speak.
Mm.
In fact, it's happening because we are speaking.
Wow.
And we are surprised as to why nobody stopped us.
Yeah, or why no one is stopping us right now, kicking the door in.
Yeah, you know why?
Why?
Because it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
Doesn't fucking matter who stops us, why they have to stop us, or anything of that sort. I want to just give you a quick example of one of the greatest person that ever walked the face of probably Vijayawada,
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Ram Gopal Verma.
Wow.
He once said in his great heavy voice,
Mm-hmm.
why should I wish anybody good morning?
Right.
Just because I wish you good morning doesn't mean that your morning will become good.
Mm.
You might have some problem in your life, and just by me saying good morning, Bogus, doesn't make your life very good. So why should I even bother wishing you good morning?
Right. Speaking of people who don't matter, and people who like to drop their bird shits of wisdom every day on us, every now and then,
On everybody.
on everybody,
On everybody.
Equally.
Including us.
including us. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why does it matter? I don't know. It doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. Most of the things that happen don't matter, and that's precisely what we are here to do.
Yeah. I don't wake up every day thinking why Ram Gopal Verma is not wishing me good morning,
Which you should. I'm surprised why you don't.
because it doesn't matter.
Okay, what matters according to you?
I've just realized that basically nothing matters.
Now, this is where, Bogus, you show the dumb side of you, which is probably 360 degrees.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing absolutely matters.
No, nothing matters.
Okay. No. Nothing absolutely matters. Tell me one thing that absolutely matters.
Okay, let's
I'll
just
bet you on that.
let's just take an example of what people generally consider to matter. Okay.
Okay, fine. I'm up for it.
Yeah. We seem to
Nothing
be at,
absolutely matters. Change my mind if you can.
no, I'm not going to change your mind because you're already wrong. I'm saying nothing matters. And we seem to be at completely opposing points of view here.
That's because I'm the smarter one and you're not. So obviously we'll be on the opposing sides.
No, smartness also doesn't matter. So, what generally matters to people, if you look at it, one of the biggest things is what?
I am sensing a cliche which is going to come my way now, but
Yeah, we're
I'll wait
talking
for
about
it.
people as a society. So, obviously, it's going to be a cliche. Money.
Okay. Oh, you're saying that money matters?
No, I'm not saying it. I'm saying it doesn't matter.
What are you saying? What do you mean by money matters? Oh,
I'm
just
saying it doesn't
quoting-
matter.
No. See, money absolutely doesn't matter. Okay.
No, it doesn't matter.
I'll tell you why.
Why?
The more money is the stimulus for greed. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Money is the first, indication of how wrong a person can go.
Mm-hmm.
The more money you get, the more greedy you get. The more greedy you get, the more enemies you make, or you step on too many toes. Blah blah blah. It keeps growing and growing and growing to a point that you wish that there was no money in your pocket. You wish for the time where you had no money. So this whole pursuit of getting a lot of money absolutely doesn't matter.
How much money is enough money? Really? Like, when is it going to be enough? And how much of it is going to be enough? Because as long as you don't have it, you're completely focusing your energies and chasing and getting it. And then when you think you have enough of it, if you at least get to that state where you think you have enough of it,
Yeah.
then now you're looking behind your shoulder, you're worrying about, what do I do with all this money that I have? How am I going to lose it now?
Yeah, I don't know where you're driving the point to with this, but
I'm
what
just saying
trying
it
to
doesn't
say-
matter, because regardless of the fact that whether you thought you had it or whether you thought you didn't have it, you're still your state of mind is still the same.
Yeah, because I get that. I get what you're saying. But what you also need to realize is what else does money brings a lot of things. Money brings in negative energy towards you. Money brings in, a lot of things, basically. Okay. The reason why I'm saying a lot of things again and again is because I never went behind money. I also feel that money is like a baggage. You don't need that.
Just follow the track of people who suddenly won a lottery and what happened to them immediately after.
Yeah, they made a lot of enemies.
Yeah.
That's exactly, you're proving my point.
Well, no, it's proving my point that money doesn't matter.
You know what else money gets you?
What?
Which again is kind of like a kind of a nail in your feet, or what do you call it? Stone in your shoe? Like pebble in your shoe. What is it called? What is it called, damn it?
A nail in your coffin?
Not a nail in the coffin. The thing that doesn't allow you to like move freely. Like a pebble in your shoe.
Okay.
Okay.
We'll go with that.
Yeah, let's go with that.
Yeah.
Because I'm the smarter one here.
Mm-hmm.
Status comes along with money. Okay. A lot of status. The more money you have, somehow we figure out that you're more famous, or you're more successful, or you're like, it's kind of an indication of some sort.
Right.
That you're of high status.
Right.
And let me tell you something, my friend, which is not you. I'm just talking to myself here.
Right.
Status is probably the thing I want to be away from. Status, what I mean by status is, I'm talking about fame, I'm talking about recognition,
Popularity.
stardom, or whatever you call it, right? There's so many synonyms for status.
Yeah. People sometimes tend to change. People sometimes tend to chase these things independently of chasing money as well, which is just the chase starts with a chase for status or popularity, with the hope that it'll bring about money later on.
Yeah, and don't ever butt into my point, okay? Don't try to steal my point here, because what I'm trying to tell you, which I think you should learn from me, is status is a very bad thing. Status takes away the kind of sacrifices you have to make to get to a certain stature.
Mm-hmm.
Did I say it right? Stature. Yeah. Okay. The kind of sacrifices you have to make to get to a certain stature is humongous. Okay.
Okay.
And we have a short life, yeah?
Yeah.
So you got to live it.
Yeah.
So there's no time for sacrifices. There's no time for, getting inconvenienced and all. So if you look at it from a different perspective, which is my perspective,
okay,
does status really matter? It absolutely doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Change my mind if you can.
There's nothing to learn from you, and your perspective does not matter. But people who chase status, we've had enough examples where even the few that do end up reaching their target or the initial target they had in mind, they just turn back and say, oh, my life is still miserable, or my problems have only increased. I'm not able to have peace of mind. Then they go romantic and they try to tell us, actually my favorite part, even though I have this big bungalow and I have a yacht and all these things, and I'm sitting on my yacht right now and I'm sipping wine as I'm talking to you, the best part of my life is actually those struggle days.
Yeah.
It's almost like Jhopatpatti days.
Yeah, it's almost like they go 180 degrees and turn back and tell everybody else, dude, don't follow me because it's fucked up.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, you don't want this. After having everything, it's almost like you don't want this.
Yeah.
So if guys with high stature are your role model, then you better listen to them carefully, because they're telling us not to get there.
Yeah.
Right?
They're telling us that, oh yeah, as I'm sipping on this 100-year-old wine.
Yeah. Which costs like as much as your house.
Yeah. I'm just nostalgic about that street lamp that I used to study under. And the warmth of that street lamp. I just want it again.
That one morsel that my mother used to feed from like half a broken plate.
Yeah. And if I could do anything to get back the warmth of that street lamp, I would do it in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
And then you give them your bank account number and then you see what they do.
Yeah, but that didn't change my mind. Status absolutely doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
It's just a very glorified thing for selling more magazines, or otherwise, if there are no people with zero status or everybody is of the same stature, media doesn't have any work. So therefore, they've created the concept of stardom. They've created the concept of popularity, etc., etc. Popularity index. What the fuck is that? I don't even understand that.
Yeah. And what makes someone even want to chase these goals, these money, status, popularity, etc.? What are they, proud of themselves?
I don't know what kind of pushes them to go by that.
So if it is
What-
pride, what do we have to say about pride then?
Oh, dude, pride is, again, I mean, I know I come across as already I might be coming across as someone who's very pessimistic about things,
Mhm.
but let's be realistic, right? What does pride get you? Pride is the first stepping stone of uh discouragement, or what do you call, fuck, I forgot the word.
Pride comes before a fall is a popular saying.
Niagara
There is-
Fall.
No,
Oh, okay.
just before a fall.
Any fall.
Like you falling, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Once the pebbles in your shoe get more and more,
Once they dig deep into your heel,
yeah, then
when
you
you
fall.
can't walk anymore and get septic.
Right.
Yeah. So yeah, pride, I'm not a big fan of it. Once again, pride kind of, I think, kind of misleads you into believing things that are not true.
Always sets you up for failure.
Yeah, it sets you up for failure. I think we can agree on that. You are a good example for it. Apart from that, pride also, what it does is it kind of makes you a little delusional
Yeah.
about what you really are,
Yeah.
right? Pride is just if pride was like a pair of goggles,
Hmm.
right? Everything is kind of, what do you call, rosy,
Yeah.
whatever you see through those goggles.
That is
right?
if you have bad taste and you buy pink goggles. That's what you're saying.
Yeah, that too. Right?
Right.
Pride makes you take such wrong decisions. That's what
Exactly.
pride does.
Exactly.
Pride is a seed for wrong decisions.
Mhm.
So, do you really want something in you that drives you towards wrong decisions?
No. And what's the point of pride if your entire life is nothing but one humbling experience to the next?
Yeah,
You're just stumbling as you keep growing older.
yeah,
You keep finding out every day how much of a mediocre, average guy you are.
yeah,
And all those dreams, all that fluff that your family and your friends fed you when you're
Yeah.
growing up thinking you're special,
yeah.
you realize very soon.
I know. And if you're anyhow to let go your pride,
Mm.
why does it even matter then?
Yeah,
Why
it
do you-
never even mattered in the
Yeah,
first place.
so pride doesn't matter.
Not at all.
Absolutely doesn't matter at all.
What else do we have?
I don't know. I have a bunch of things actually in my mind, right?
Mm.
And which I started thinking a lot, because I do think a lot as an individual.
Right.
You know me. And I started coming across this concept that if I'm associated with a particular name tag,
Mm-hmm.
right? In
Mhm.
brackets, the name tag means religion,
Mm-hmm.
which I didn't choose,
Mm-hmm.
right? Then what's the point of something that I didn't choose? What's the point of having? I don't even know where I wear my religion. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, okay, you are a particular religion, so brute, you gotta do a particular things. And I'm trying to find, where is this thing on me exactly? Is it in my head? Is it on me somewhere? Is there a certain stereotype associated? Or how do I get bracketed into this? I have no answer.
And sometimes you wear very little, which makes it awkward for me also to work with you on this podcast. So I never saw
This
religion
is coming from a guy who wears shorts which are exposing his thighs. Bogus. I don't think we should get into that topic.
there. I'm just
Scare
trying to
away people.
equalize. I'm trying to balance the equation here.
Okay.
Basically.
Okay, I don't know how you're doing that. Obviously, it does tell me that you are bad at math. But
But we can both agree that whether we wear too much or too little, we never saw religion on top of each other at any point of time.
yeah. I mean, I can't see religion on top of anybody.
Yeah.
Not just us. Even if I go out and like try to see religion on someone,
Mm.
I'm easily fooled, to be very honest. I mean, religion is, I've read it on the cover of a book which says that religion is the biggest marketing scheme.
Right.
So if it is a marketing scheme,
Mhm.
it's not much different than how AquaGuard is purifying my water to how a religion is purifying my soul.
Yeah, and for something that was always meant as a civilizational like guideline,
Yeah.
sort of, which is, oh, if you're a society that is hunter-gatherer
Mhm.
and you don't know that you should not do certain things,
Yeah. Like
Uh,
eat each other.
like eat each other,
Yeah.
like leave a dead body around in your house
Yeah.
for a long time, or leave
So
it,
that you can eat later.
yeah, or pickle dead bodies and then use that water to feed your plants or
Yeah.
drink water out of it.
Yeah.
All this stuff. Religion basically tells you, hey, idiot, don't do this, don't do
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
You'll get bacterial infections.
Yeah.
Basically, it doesn't say bacterial infections.
Yeah.
It says some demon will be angry at you or something
Yeah.
like that.
Because you don't understand bacteria if
Yeah.
you're a hunter-gatherer.
That's
right?
it. Yeah. Basically, it tells you which way you should face which way you should face while you wash your ass on a
Yeah.
Tuesday versus what you should do on a Wednesday versus on a Thursday, whether you should eat or not. All this is basically what religion is doing.
So what? Yeah.
If we are cross that hunter-gatherer phase now,
Yeah. Do we even need that?
do you even need it? And like you said, marketing. Karl Marx has that famous quote about, "Oh, religion is the opiate of the masses." You know,
Yeah.
this guy he's the one who came up with communism as a concept. So, from one bullshit conceptor
Yeah.
to say something about another bullshit concept,
Yeah.
maybe it takes one to know one.
Absolutely. But what I'm hearing from you, Bogus, which you're trying to contradict my point here, is the guy who started religion
Mm.
might well plausibly might have been a doctor who just had a very good narrative skill, right?
I think he probably was a marketer because it's just a pyramid scheme.
Yeah, which doctor is not a good marketer? Like
Ah,
every
okay.
doctor is great at selling diseases and illnesses and tablets and all kinds of shit,
Well,
right?
yeah, when you put it like
so,
that.
So I can put it because my level of intelligence is very high, Bogus. I think you're forgetting that point in our conversation again and again. So I want to bring it up as many times as it's needed, right? So religion essentially doesn't matter at all. If you look at it from a bird's eye view, once again,
Doesn't matter.
doesn't absolutely matter, which we agree to disagree in our conversation. But what matters then? Let's try to see what's more contemporary. Fine, we went to hunter-gatherer stage,
Right.
right? So let's come back to the concrete jungle age.
Right. So, in general, what is the huge hoopla around every day when you look around? What are people so hot and bothered about?
Yeah.
Oh, my career graph.
I think we will have some logged horns here, but please go ahead.
What's the point of a so-called career graph that you have to climb? Someone came and set up these steps in front of you. Basically, you're just a wage slave,
Yeah.
and you're just playing make-believe in the office.
Yeah.
You have a designation, it's called manager.
Yeah.
Some other guy has a designation, it's called analyst or some starting point.
Yeah.
So just because there's two different words being used,
Yeah.
now you start behaving differently around each other.
Yeah.
If you're so easily programmed,
Yeah.
what does that tell you about you?
It tells a lot to start off with, but also I want to put it in my words to give better clarity, right? In a short life where you have only so much speculated time to do whatever you want to do, if you're making a compromise on trying to love what you do just so that you can climb this so-called hierarchical ladder,
Right.
I instantly don't see a sense in it. You know what I mean?
No.
The moment I am it's almost like the contemporary destiny. If your performance or if your growth is not at your, discretion, it's not like, hey, I think I've done this job enough, so I need to go to a bigger job. I need to start doing a better job.
Someone else controls.
Someone else is there who's gatekeeping me and saying that, okay, you know what? I don't think you're ready for this job yet, yeah?
Yeah.
So what we would like to do is kind of probably put you in probation and see if you're doing this job well enough, and the probation doesn't end.
Yeah. And speaking of destiny, how many people choose their careers anyway?
Yeah. It's a great point, Bogus. I'm startled by your intelligence, your sudden intelligence.
Don't
which I
be,
think,
because it doesn't matter.
No, it does matter in a way to me because I think I'm rubbing it off onto you. The more time we spend, you seem to be getting smarter, which is an achievement. But at the same time, yeah, how many people choose their own career? How many people are exactly doing what their childhood compositions were about? Hey, I want to grow up to be a doctor. I want to grow up to be a whatever.
Astronaut.
Policeman.
Wherever astronaut went.
Yeah. Wherever
No one
all
gives
those
a fuck now about astronauts.
wherever all those child astronauts have gone, right? So if you're not anyhow choosing what you want to do,
Mm.
and then you are putting in so much of effort,
Mm.
probably like 60% of your life,
Mm.
which is almost predefined by somebody else as to where you have to go,
Right.
what's the point? Doesn't matter. I don't see a point in really bothering about that. Just do your job, suck up to it, and go forward.
And all that effort that someone puts, like you said, 60%, 65% of
Yeah.
their life, they get to a certain stage. They just wanted to climb the ladder, climb, keep climbing. No care to where it goes. But then one fine day they get retired.
Yeah.
Then the next day you come to them and ask them where their career went.
Yeah.
Yeah, then you see the look on their face.
Yeah. They'll have a very blank look.
Yeah. Oh, you were assistant chairman yesterday. Today, what are you?
Yeah, you're nothing. You have zero call on whatever you have built.
Yeah.
You worked so hard for.
Today you're a pensioner.
Especially the bank managers and all of them, right? Who go from one bank to another, from one branch to another, and then after like 30 years of hustling, right? They basically have this like 3 BHK apartment where they kind of probably put all their savings in, and they're just waiting for that pension.
Any
reading
wage
the
slave.
newspaper. Yeah.
Any wage slave is the same thing. You're all pensioners at the end of the day.
Yeah, yeah. And the contemporary corporate doesn't even have a pension scheme, unlike like the government jobs. And
so you can see how much it doesn't matter to them also.
Yeah. Doesn't matter. There was a fleeting thought actually where I felt that, okay, something more emotional is what we should focus on.
Ah.
Yeah. Do you know where I'm going to?
No.
Okay. This whole concept of as a teenager, right? There's a glorified concept among your circle, among your peers, that you know what, dude, the solution for every problem in life is falling in love with it.
Yeah.
Love. You need to really love whatever you do. You need to have like a person you can love and express your love to. Bull crap. Absolute bull crap. As I kept growing, I only felt that love is the most over-evaluated commodity. And that opinion of mine kind of got testified or more solidified, whatever is validated. That's the word. It got validated when I saw Interstellar, and then Mr. Nolan has expressed that love is one of the dimension. And then when I saw it in more scientific sense also, moving away from the realms of psychology and emotions, I realized that, hey, if I can't do jack shit about length, breadth and time, right? What will I do about another dimension called love? If it's already predefined, it's pre-existing.
Right.
There's only so much I can do about it, or there's nothing that I really have to worry about. I'm anyhow existing in it.
Right.
So it's a dimension, for fuck's sake.
Yeah.
So how does it matter what I do with it or how I approach it? So it doesn't absolutely matter to me. Love doesn't absolutely matter.
I mean, in today's day and age, all these parents are getting lost in their jobs. Both parents and the kids are getting lost in their screens, and they're not able to have a basic human conversation with each other. This guy goes and makes a movie where this father goes to the edge of a black hole, and that love is supposed to have
inside a black
hole, and that love is supposed to have brought him and his daughter together.
Yeah.
I mean, talk about overcompensation and overrated. I mean, love is not bringing down the prices of petrol and diesel today.
Yep.
Love is not going to, if there's an asteroid that's hurling towards Earth at breakneck speed, no matter how much love you have in your heart, and you're standing on that beach, and there's tsunami coming, all that love in your heart is going to be replaced by water.
Not just your heart, in fact, I also want to add on to that point,
your liver,
the lungs, the stomach, your muscles, overall body, right? When you're drowned in that sea salt water, you just bloat up to shit. There's no place for love there. Nature doesn't love you. Nature does its job.
That's it.
If nature decides that, hey, So I need to put an earthquake in Bombay, which is probably one of the most densely populated cities. Then I got to do it.
Yeah,
I don't give a fuck how much Bombay people love Bombay.
exactly.
I got to put an earthquake there. I'm
That's
going to
it.
do it. I'm going to do my job.
It needs to happen.
It's the most accurate professional assassin ever.
Yeah, some people get together every morning in the laughter club and they laugh.
Oh, yeah.
I don't give a fuck.
These guys who...
Earth's got a crack.
Earth's got to crack. You got to die.
That's it.
You know, Earth's got to take your life and it's going to say fuck you and thank you.
Yeah.
So, do we really invest and embrace love so much? What's the point? I don't see a point, Bogus. I absolutely don't see a point.
And even we have a difficult time reconciling what love really is. You can see the way love is portrayed in the movies. It is something totally different, something totally unreal. And we know that in our real life, it's never really like that.
It's, yeah, like, I mean, again, see, it's almost like religion, right? Like, love has so many definitions.
Yeah.
There are infinite ways of expression, right? Of you loving something.
Yeah.
If you're anyhow going to do it, why do you even bother worrying about how you're going to do it?
Yeah.
If there is no predefined.
On the screen, we have these filmy representations of love.
Yeah, run across flowery fields, fucking sing songs around trees.
And in real life, if your father slapped you hard when you're in 10th standard, 10 years after that, you'll realize that, oh, that was love.
Yeah. It's not even like instant gratification. Love is somehow never instant gratification.
Yeah.
Right? And by the time you're gratified, there's no point.
There's no point.
Like you already bypassed that
Either
moment.
you're too old or that person has died or
yeah, like, or they're married. Most often than not, they're married. They're married with 2 kids.
Yeah.
Not with 2 kids, but they're married to a person who gave them 2 kids.
So we've established that love doesn't matter.
Love doesn't, it's not just it doesn't matter. It absolutely doesn't matter. Like,
but we've talked about one kind of love, which is like interpersonal, familial kind of love. But there's also
what the fuck you're talking about.
Between like, lovers or family, like parents, that kind of a love. But then there's another kind of love as well. The more big-hearted, like altruistic, I care for my fellow man kind of love.
You're talking about compassion by any chance?
Yeah.
Okay. But how do you show compassion? That's my point.
Now, how do they show it today? Basically, some guy from Greenpeace comes to me and he says, some kangaroos are dying. So every month in your bank slip, you put a automatic instruction that this money gets cut from your bank account.
Yeah.
Kangaroos are happy.
Yeah, so we are talking about charity by any chance?
Charity.
Oh my sweet
Bingo.
Lord. The biggest scam in the history of human race. When we are existing in an ecosystem where there is no selfless good deed, yeah? How did we even make space for charity? I still don't understand.
It's an industry in itself.
Yeah? It's backed, any charitable, organization, NGO or institute or however you put it.
Yeah.
They're all backed by corporates.
Yeah.
You really think corporates are, giving people?
No, I just think it's a way to save tax money.
That's the practical application of it, right? So, do we really have to do charity? Do we really have to give? I mean, in a world of survival of the fittest,
right?
What place do you have for charity?
And especially when most of these charitable organizations are never really focused on teaching a man how to fish.
Yeah, good point.
It's always about, just give them a fish today. So and that tomorrow they stay hungry and they come to you again. So you have to keep feeding them fish now.
It's not just giving the fish. It's take the fish and then share it among yourselves. So by the end of the day, you're not even like filling your stomach because you're only getting that much of the fish. You know what I mean?
But also, take a selfie.
Hashtag.
And then share it on social media.
Share it on social media. Hashtag our,
contributions. Yeah.
We're
so much better than everyone else.
I never understand why charity organizations need celebrities. Right? Doing something.
Right.
Like planting a tree or you got to do it quietly. Yeah. But we are not trying to judge them. here.
Right.
We are trying to understand the concept of charity in itself, whether it really matters or not.
I guess even they know that to do it quietly doesn't really matter for them because that's not the aim.
Which is the indication. So
Yeah.
we're not judging them. We're trying to understand this. And in our understanding, if you have to go through all this, there is no good charitable foundation which is not popular. If you're not, I mean, isn't this like correlate? It's a catch-22.
If
you
it's
have to-
not popular, we don't know it exists.
yeah, we don't know it exists. That means whatever they're doing, they're as good as not doing it. So do you want to be in that predicament, Bogus? I don't want to be.
Speaking for myself, I would say I'm definitely judging them because, especially when you look at these funding drives that happen in the West, or
You're talking about the fundraise dinners,
the fundraisers, the events where they book
which
a
happen mostly in a 5-star hotel.
5-star hotel, or they book a major place and the world-class catering, like wine and dine.
The funniest part is there is a dress code.
There's a
It
dress
is
code.
buy in white.
Yeah.
If you want to raise funds, raise funds by anybody and everybody. Right?
If you're a chaprasi outside the gate,
who's ready to give like $5?
You want to come inside, give me 5 rupees.
Yeah,
you
take it.
To have entry.
Yeah,
come eat
that's
this samosa. It's okay. Drink this wine, eat this samosa. You go. You did your job.
That's real charity.
Yeah, but
That's
this
real
is like,
charity.
you have to wear a tuxedo, you have to wear a ball gown,
And
or some kind of a dress code.
yeah, and then you have to like buy a table or some shit.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
It is. I mean, that in itself is misleading to me.
And
right?
they spend way more amount
Then
in
what?
arranging all that event and all that bullshit
Yeah,
than the actual money they collect for the charity
which is
itself.
stupidity. Which is stupid.
And if there's a bigger example for why it doesn't matter, it's right there.
It's right there. You just have to like open your eyes and see. I completely get it.
And also the shady part of it is the worst human elements you find, like related to human trafficking, whatever, you find them in those NGOs, you find them in those charities. People make such a big hue and cry about, child abuse. You want to find child abusers? Go to a charity which is,
like a foster child home,
specific
foster homes.
Yeah, specific for childcare. You will
Orphanages.
find them over there because they're going to get attracted to that place.
Yeah, and that's the whole point, right? We're trying to understand the value of a certain deed, right? A certain concept, and I don't see any value right here.
Doesn't
If
matter.
anything has to be is a slave of packaging, I think charity is top of the line, right? There's no charity that has been done till date which didn't really matter unless it had like you said, huge fundraisers in like 5-star hotels with all kinds of regulations of how you have to attend it, blah blah blah.
Yeah, and it's almost never a solution. It's always a band-aid so that we can do it again. It's more for us than for them.
Yeah, it's like, again, the doctor concept, right? Don't heal him completely.
Yeah.
Just leave that much so that he comes back at least twice or thrice.
Yeah.
Or rest of his life, whatever. So yeah, charity absolutely doesn't matter, man.
Does
I
not
don't
matter.
think that is a leaf that I want in my book.
So we've covered different aspects of love, and of course they don't matter.
Yes, absolutely.
What about lust? Nowadays, at least, it drives everyday life so much. Social media, the way the apps are, Tinder, all this stuff.
Yeah. So
What about lust?
here is my take on lust. Yeah, lust is, so basically it's a bad pet name for reproduction. As humans, we are supposed to reproduce,
Yeah.
right? It's a
For the
part
species.
for the sake of the species.
Yeah.
For the greater good.
Yeah. Nature just wants you to keep making more and more versions.
Yeah.
So that it can figure out which are the weak or bad versions.
Correct. So you
Kill
can
them
filter out, and then
And then
just
keep
keep
the
the good
stronger
ones,
ones, yeah.
right? But we did it so much, we lost control of it.
Yeah.
And then there was somebody who was kind of like sitting in a dark room in a 0-watt bulb, and he was scheming things, saying that, hey, we got to stop this shit. Things are getting way too out of control. So how do we do it? So what they did is they created a bad pet name and made it sound so bad, right, that you almost want it, but you shouldn't have it. they put you into that ambiguous situation, and lust came out of it. The term lust came out of it. So if you look at lust in a singular form, in its entirety,
Right.
I don't see the application of lust every day, or it kind of wears off as you grow.
Maybe because you don't use Tinder.
I'm married. I don't.
That's why you don't see the application of lust every day.
Oh, don't crack bad jokes, bogus. This is like one of the worst jokes in the history of ThyGap podcast. Like, application of lust is Tinder.
Well,
Please subscribe.
I see it a little bit differently. I see it like supply and demand, right? Like if you're starving, if your society is starving, you don't have enough food, then whatever food you get is being used to full efficiency.
Yeah.
And whatever basic, like even dal chawal for you is like amazing.
Right.
But then there is no problem with supply in food.
Right.
Now you start becoming over the top, and we'll get to this. But you start playing around with varieties of food and all that. Similarly, as long as there is when the demand for population explosion stopped, we stopped just reproducing just for reproduction's sake.
Yeah.
It is no longer, I'm just a decent guy, you're a decent girl, let's let's come together and make babies. It is more now like that's basically the difference between lust.
Hooting and howling.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I mean, I get your point, but I don't agree with it completely. Lust, like I said, lust it doesn't have a place in a sense.
It doesn't matter.
I mean, if you refer the literature, kamam or whatever we call it, right, which is also lust, actually is I mean, there are people who are wired wrong, who just thrive on that one aspect of life, which is lust. But if you're a person who's wired wrong, automatically you don't matter. Right. You're the outlier. So fuck you.
That's it.
But if you keep away the wrongly wired people and you just look at lust as an entirety, how much of that is actually playing a part in my growth or my individual life? It's almost negligible.
Nothing. It doesn't matter,
because lust comes much later to responsibility, fucking like family, blah 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 blah, the long list of things, and then somewhere there's like an afterthought. Oh, by the way, lust. Because if I don't have lust, then I'm not a good reproducer. I don't know how there is a relation to both of them.
Here's why it doesn't matter, right? Like, imagine you're a single guy and you want to mingle as a single guy.
Yeah.
And you put all this effort and money into, yourself, how you appear.
Yeah.
And also, if you find someone, then now you got to put money and effort into them.
Yeah.
Time, date, and all that stuff.
Yeah.
All that is focused towards one point where you can get them alone, and then you can play the fool.
Yeah.
Right. And basically, even all the amount of effort and pain and money it takes, 3 minutes.
That's
max.
It. Yeah.
3 minutes, you're done, and then you realize
that's a global average.
Yeah. We're not speaking about ourselves, of course.
Obviously, we are
Please.
like
I mean,
exceptional class.
Look at the episode lengths in the first season. You get some idea, ladies. But
that was some great selling of your
of the podcast. Season
of the
one.
podcast. I apologize.
Season 1 podcast.
Season 1 podcast.
The episodes just went for hours and hours.
Hours and hours.
God, marathon.
Long lens.
All night long.
Yeah.
But 3 minutes tops, global average. Then you realize, next day I wake up, it's all the same thing again. I have to brush. I have to figure out what I need to do.
Yeah.
There's no disappear button for her. There's
Neither
no disappear for me.
You just gotta.
I have to figure out what to do with her now.
Yeah.
Because until I got to my 3-minute peak, I knew exactly what I wanted to do with her.
Yeah.
But now that I'm past that,
Yeah.
I'm blank.
Yeah. Yeah.
What?
There is no follow-up of lust.
Am I supposed to talk?
Yeah.
Like,
hand over the clothes. Like, what the fuck is going to happen now?
yeah.
So I completely get it. Like, lust is kind of
Don't matter.
it doesn't matter. It's a passing cloud which doesn't even rain so badly, doesn't give any fertility to land or anything. So, you know what else kind of like started off?
What else?
Okay, I'll tell you, this is an interesting story which you told me long back, and I acted as if I ignored it, but I actually heard it, and I found it interesting that during the war time,
Right.
after the soldiers came back from war, they were all this high testosterone, high adrenaline.
Oh yeah.
Blah blah blah.
Yeah,
and
they're humping
basically
rocks.
they were fucking trees.
Yeah.
Anything that moved.
Yeah.
Right. So somehow somebody came up with this bright idea that let's put all the men in one place and let them play.
Right.
So that's how sports got created.
Yeah. Professional sports.
Professional sports. Like, hey, all your energies, go waste it on the field.
Yeah.
You don't like one game, we'll give you 100 different games.
Oh, we'll give you countless
Number of games, right? And we'll let you choose how you want to play it too.
Yeah.
Right? You want to punch them. You want to kick them. Do whatever. But do it to non-living things.
You want a small ball, big ball, light ball, heavy ball?
Whatever. You want to hit with your own hands, with a stick or your foot, whatever it is.
Yeah.
So if the origination of sports,
right,
was the need of venting, now I don't need any venting, bro.
Yeah. And
so does sports have any place in my timetable?
Yeah. And to top it, it's just a point of statistics now. It's like today I lose, oh, I feel bad. Tomorrow I win, oh, I feel great. Then again there's a next match. Again I'm going to either lose or I'm going to win, or I'm going to lose a limb or something.
There is no continuation to it.
Like, when is it going to stop?
Yeah.
There's no like one Mahayuddha, like Kurukshetra
war,
where if I win
once
it,
and for all,
then it's in the record books. No, it's just like one after the other. What's the point?
Exactly. It's all statistics and numbers and God knows what. I mean, like, if sports today is for the so-called physical education, get into a brawl.
Yeah, just fight it out.
Yeah, fight it out. Like, show what you're made of.
Yeah.
I don't want to get into a brawl because I don't mind not having physical education.
Yeah,
I'm fine with it.
Yeah, it's your choice now.
It's your choice. Yeah. You choose, right? I mean, why is there a fight club, for fuck's sake?
Yeah, and why was it so successful, that movie?
Because there were some people who wanted to like let it out.
Yeah, just...
And were single and Tinder wasn't there. So, so fight club was necessary. So sports doesn't like matter again.
Doesn't matter.
I think we're getting to a lot of things that really don't matter. So
I
let's
feel
get to
lighter and lighter as we are establishing each and everything that does not matter at all.
Yeah, also because you're kind of spitting out the gum that you have in your mouth. So less gum in your mouth, less lighter you feel. But okay, fine. These are all like very superficial things, right? These are not something that are there.
They don't matter.
Fuck it. Like, we don't even give a shit about them. So let's get down to few points which are integral to us, or so they claim.
So,
right? So
let's examine
the concept of, what do you think about freedom?
Myth.
Of?
It's just a myth. It's legend. It's just a imaginary concept that we use to just make ourselves feel good. But do you really have freedom? Balls.
The question is, freedom from what?
From what?
Yeah, that's a bigger question for me.
Exactly.
And I never got an answer because...
What do you need?
The list doesn't end. Yeah. Freedom from what? Freedom.
And also, what does it look like? You keep crying that, oh, you want freedom. What does it look like in your mind? Do you have like one definition? Like, oh, this is what it means to have freedom? Nah.
Yeah, that being said, freedom for me is, I just don't know as to what do I want freedom from.
Whoever is able to define freedom, right, for themselves, they just lack imagination. And they just don't know in how many ways they're still not free.
They're oblivious.
Yeah.
You know, they're oblivious to the fact that end of the day, you're a puppet on a string.
That's it. If I ask you, define freedom, and you actually define it, or you try, you are not free from my question in the first place.
Absolutely. I'm already obliged to you.
That's it.
So, the subtlety of, how
the concept, the freedom,
the concept, and also how many ways we are tied up to so many things.
Yeah.
Right? We are social beings, for fuck's sake. We can't live with freedom. If we live with freedom, basically you're asking for I don't even know how it looks like, because I think we are already entwined into so many things.
Yeah, we're
That-
always entwined with everything else around
Too many
us.
strings on us.
Yeah.
Too many strings on us, to a fact that you want to cut off all of them.
Where will you stop?
Yeah.
Will you want freedom from friction, from gravity?
Yeah. Like, there is no end. The list doesn't stop.
Yeah.
So, do I really want freedom? Do you think freedom is an important pursuit in life? See how I made it so philosophical and spiritual, or like so complicated and intellectual, because I'm very smart. Do you want freedom? Do you want the pursuit of freedom?
Just doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter, man. You gotta realize that you'll never get to it.
Yeah. It doesn't exist.
If you know you're not going to get to it, don't get into it.
That's it.
Like, don't get into that pursuit or whatever the fuck.
Or don't be deluded
Compl-
by some weird concept of freedom
Yeah.
that will last as long as the guy next to you comes and punches your face. That's it. That's the limit of your freedom now.
Yeah. Yeah.
What is freedom really?
Freedom, I don't think it's myth. I think the word has to be considered as a term of mythology. So freedom is one. So obviously freedom we don't have at any level.
Nah.
For the fact that we are basically, I mean, look at the catch-22. We can't live without a soul. The soul can't live without us.
Mm.
Who has the true freedom? Nobody.
Yeah.
So if at that level there is no freedom, it's only evident that whatever trickles out of it will also not have freedom.
Yeah.
So fuck that shit. Freedom is something that doesn't matter.
Doesn't
You have
exist.
it, you don't have it.
Doesn't matter.
Like, doesn't matter. So what's the other thing that, okay, let's get down to another more intricate details of our life as a human being, Bogus.
Mm-hmm.
Things are getting hot and serious right now.
Mm.
And hopefully they stay that way. We are made of different things. Yeah?
Wow. Okay.
I know. I'm going Sadhguru shit right now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So we are made of different things. Yeah? Hello.
Mhm.
And we give a lot of things value.
Right.
And we claim we are made of values.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, just once again, on the hindsight, values are like toenails for me.
Right.
Until unless you jam your toe into that corner of a bed or a cupboard or fucking like whatever,
Mm.
you don't realize that you have grown your toenails.
Right.
Like, it's not like you get up in the morning and look at your toenails and like, oh shit, I have to cut them today. No, fuck it.
No.
Nobody does that. So values are the same.
Mm.
Until and unless somebody kind of really comes at you and headbutts the shit out of you,
Mm.
right? You don't really, oh, okay, wait, hold on a sec. Oh, okay, wait.
Let me refer to my values here.
These, by the way, I haven't told you,
Mm.
but these are my values, which I claim to follow
Mm.
whenever I want to,
Right.
on my convenience.
Right.
Not like when you see me every time I'll follow it.
Mm.
I will follow only in my convenience.
Of course.
That is my values.
Yes.
Do you really want to have that kind of a fucking dependency?
I mean, values or principles, if you speak of these, how many times in our lives have we seen complete assholes just shoot right in front of us, progress,
Yeah.
and they have absolutely they don't even have a hint of character, of a smell or a sniff of values or principles.
An ounce of personality. The list goes on.
It goes on. And we have countless examples of these people right in front of our very own eyes, just climbing the ladder in such a short time. And here we are sitting with our values and our toenails, which we only give attention to when they go into our flesh a little bit.
Yeah.
And then we figure out, oh, I might have to, it's an inconvenience,
It's an inconvenience. And what do we do with inconveniences?
Cut it out.
Cut the fuck out of them. Right?
Now, if it really
Snip them.
mattered, would you cut it out?
What matters, you don't cut it off.
Yep.
Right? And if you're cutting it off,
It means it doesn't matter. Yeah.
hence values don't matter. Don't give a shit about values, guys.
We're done with values.
Values are...
I can't even believe we spent this much time talking about something that didn't even matter this much.
Yeah.
What is next? Friends. Not the TV show, which also does not matter at all.
Yeah. Well, that...
But friends in life. companions that we grew up with in school, in college.
I am still hungover on the fact that it was you're thinking about the TV serial Friends.
Knowing our audience, bro.
Yeah, I know. It's good to put it out there.
Yeah, it's good to put
Just
it
to
out.
like spoon feed.
Yep.
But I mean, come on, like Friends basically are a good selling commodity for the greeting card era.
Mm-hmm.
Friends forever, friends for life,
Friendship day.
friendship day, like best friends,
Mm.
blah blah blah.
BFFs.
Get that one wife or that one spouse, whatever. See where your friends are.
Yeah.
Right? You cross that 25 barrier. See where your friends are.
Yeah.
They have their own life. They have to run their own shit. Right?
Wives are friend repellent, as we say.
I can't comment on that.
Anti-friend spray.
But
It's a con job.
it's a con job. It's a great con job. Friends, we are forced so hard to like make them important, but we consistently fail.
Always, all of
Right?
us.
It's
It's a dirty trick pulled on unsuspecting, innocent, pure-hearted boys who look at their friends at school or college and
Yeah.
think, man, I connect with these guys so much.
they
they
are my everything
They are my everything. They are my friends for
Yeah.
life.
for life.
And they're going to be there to share in my successes and failures till the day I die. And then school ends and then they get dispersed to different colleges. Still, you might be able to stay in touch with a few of them.
Yeah.
But then you make new friends. And then you figure out, man, those school friends were actually chiller fucks.
Yeah.
These college guys.
These guys are going to take me to the next level.
Yeah, because I met these guys at a time in my life when I'm also becoming an adult.
Yeah.
So these are the actual solid guys.
Yeah. And to top it, you have movies
Oh, yeah.
to test, like to validate your thinking.
Oh, yeah.
Like shitty movies, which kind of don't show you the time where you're lonely in the room,
Never.
craving for some attention, almost depressed or possibly depressed.
Edited out.
Yeah, that's all like snipped out.
Yeah, yeah.
Right? And then years later, you look back to one of your friends and they're already supremely successful. And they're so busy that they don't have time for you.
That's
right?
it.
And then more years later, they get married and shit.
That's
and
the
they
end.
call you for the marriage so that you eat that one free meal.
Right.
In the hope that, hey, we want to like, reconcile, like we kind of get together like the old days, blah, blah, blah. Never fucking happens.
Nah.
So do you really want to invest so much of time and fucking like your effort?
In what is nothing but a con job.
Nah.
It's an Ocean's 11, Ocean's 12 pulled on every guy, everyone's life. They all come to that point and realize, man, it was all for nothing.
That doesn't matter. Friends don't matter.
Doesn't matter.
They don't matter as much as we think they matter. I think let's put that out straight. It's actually truth. Everybody has their own life, so friends don't matter. So let's get
widen the scale. Friends, community, society.
society.
Do
Fucking
we-
like everything. Right?
Fuck society.
The building blocks of society.
Yeah.
Right. People.
Mm.
People don't matter.
Do we
People
even
don't
have
matter.
do we even have to justify why society matters or doesn't matter?
It's self-explanatory because
Doesn't
I'm
matter.
not even bothering to like get
Yeah.
into it.
Me neither.
And society, unfortunately, also has another important cog like family, extended family, close family, far off family, first cousin, second cousin, third cousins, wife's family, wife's family's cousins, wife's first cousin.
And
wife's
all
second
this
cousin.
is while you're still not rich.
Yeah.
If you get really rich,
Yeah.
then you'll find out there are more.
There are more.
Yeah.
So people who claim are your family, people who you don't know are your family, family,
Family members from a previous birth.
previous birth, like childhood family.
Oh, yeah.
Like they're all under the same umbrella,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So that doesn't matter.
Mm.
The fact that the foundation doesn't matter. Whatever is built upon it doesn't matter. Right?
Yeah.
Fuck it. So that doesn't matter. That's clear. As clear as water, which also doesn't matter.
And how many times in your family, in your extended family, do you find bad apples that you can't escape from? And you're caught because you can't choose your family. Where's your freedom now, bitch?
Yeah.
You can't choose your family. And if you find your bad apples in your family, now what are you going to do? You can't just murder because it's not Fight Club kind of a world.
Yeah.
There are laws and stuff which don't matter.
Yeah.
But then it just reminds me of a poster I saw in a pawn shop.
Uh-huh.
You know, he had a poster on his shelf.
Somehow all pan guys are very philosophical.
Extreme
Fucking
wisdom.
philosophical. Yeah.
Yeah. Because they see society flowing by every day, right?
Yeah.
They know not to give a fuck about any of it. Just how good is my Meenakshi pan today?
That's it.
That's it.
That's all it matters for them.
So as I was chewing on that Meenakshi pan, I looked up at his main showcase, and he had a big ass poster
Yeah.
with big letters.
Yeah.
It said, "अपनों से बच के रहना, गैरों से तो निपट लेंगे."
Which translates to be careful of your closed ones.
Yeah.
The unknown ones we can handle anyhow.
The strangers, anyway, we can handle. Be very wary of the people you call.
If that is
yours.
not a writing on the wall, I don't know what is.
It was literally a writing on
It's
the
a
wall.
literal
It was
writing on the wall.
It was the poster like plastered
On the wall.
Yeah.
Or we can even find it in the backs of autos, but
Yeah.
they move too fast, so we can't read the whole thing.
Yeah.
So you're like half knowledge. But
That does it for family.
that's it. I mean, like, I don't need any more justification of why it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Why, society, friends, or family, people in general don't matter.
Mm. But what does one really try to chase for in life? If it's not money, which we said doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
If it's not status, which we proved does not matter. If it's pride, which we also proved does not matter.
Career,
all this bullshit, career, love,
charity,
nothing
fucking, like,
matters.
name it.
What is the one thing that people still end up chasing?
They want the strings in their hand.
Mm.
They want that adrenal rush.
Mm.
They want the power
Mm.
to run things.
Power.
Not the shoes brand,
Right. Of
but
course.
the power.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
not the muscle power again.
Yeah.
It's like the power.
Yeah.
Not the the power that you get
Mhm.
while going to gym or something,
Mhm.
but the power.
We get it, bro. Power over
Yeah,
others.
Power over things.
Over yeah,
Everything.
Over everything.
But tell me this, bogus.
Mm.
Is that really power?
I mean, there's a saying that's famous saying, absolute power corrupts absolutely.
Yeah. I don't know. I've never heard of that, but I agree to you for the context for the better argument. I have a
Basically-
different example, but yeah.
Yeah, basically the saying, it just means that it doesn't matter if you chase power, if you end up getting it, that itself is going to corrupt you in the end, and there is no escape. It's going to fuck you up.
Yeah.
Oh, you may have like 5 minutes of feel good, a moment.
Ego massage.
Ego
or
massage that,
whatever.
you're saying something and people are bowing to your commands.
Yeah.
But it's a very, very, very temporary thing.
Yeah.
As soon as you get into power, what happens? You get a target painted on your back
Yeah.
because now someone else wants it.
There are red dots all over your back.
Yeah.
The sniper, by the way. Red
Yeah, yeah.
dots are the snipers.
Yeah.
Okay. That's a good example to start off with.
Mm.
I have a better example though, because I'm much smarter and more intelligent.
Mm-hmm.
Who is the guy who has the most power, focus? Let me ask you this. It's the guy who creates something,
Right.
right? So God is the all power.
Mm.
The wide belief, correct?
Right.
So let's just take his story. Every god fucking is dependent on his worshippers. There is no worshipper, there's no god.
There's
There's
no
no god, there's no worshipper,
Right.
right? So if the god himself,
Mm-hmm.
who is prayed about, who's praised about,
Mm-hmm.
who is bitched about, who goes through the whole spectrum of emotions
Yeah.
or feedback or whatever you call it.
Mm-hmm.
If he's helpless in not filtering out whatever is good for him,
Mm.
what's the point of having power?
Yeah.
If your power can only do so much, no matter how much power you get,
Mm.
there's always only so much you can do
Yeah.
for so much time, for so much space or whatever.
Mm.
Because there's right around the block, there's a guy who might soon displace you,
Yeah.
right? It's an inevitable.
Inevitable. Yeah.
So why even bother about something that is inevitable?
Yeah. Like, why would you want to chase something which actually puts a target on your back and now your existence is short-lived, your
Yeah.
safety is short-lived.
Everything that comes with it.
Instead, if you were just anonymous, wouldn't you have longer peace of mind, like for more periods of time?
Less pressure, less
pressure,
responsibilities,
yeah.
fucking you name it, right?
Yeah.
Like I said, great power gives great responsibilities.
Yeah.
And I'm not one for responsibility, so I don't even need great power.
So it doesn't matter.
I don't even need fucking power. So
Doesn't matter.
for me, power doesn't matter.
That's it.
And I am pretty sure there are upty number of people like me around who don't want those responsibilities, who don't like taking that responsibility. They're better off, like, sitting in their chair, staring at their screen all day,
Yeah.
right? So, power is a immediate no.
So if it's not power, if it's not all these things, let's look at basic sustenance. What about food?
Oh, fucking Lord. Food is the most overrated, over-glorified commodity in the history of this universe.
Yeah.
And especially human beings have made food this like the eternal life source or blah blah blah, that it has to be consumed in so many different ways, etc., etc. Fuck that shit. When you're hungry, even a spoiled bread is good enough for you,
Yeah.
right? Let's get down to the brass tacks of it.
Yeah.
So, do we really want exotic food? Do I really want to have so much of food, like my choice of food, etc., etc.? I don't think so. You just need food for the sake of sustenance. You just need food for survival. All these food bloggers, bogus,
Exactly.
right? I don't know what the fuck they're talking about.
No one
I
knows.
really do not know what the fuck they're talking about. I mean, it's such an inconsequential contribution that you're doing to me.
Yeah.
You're tasting something, eating some shit,
That's it.
and then telling me that how you should eat it, how it should taste, blah blah blah, which doesn't even matter to me.
I mean, that's all they're doing. What's the qualification there? They're just putting shit on their tongue
Yeah,
as if we can't do it. And that's the career that they have. And they could eat like 500 different varieties.
yeah.
All they're going to say is, oh, that's delicious.
The vocabulary,
Mm.
the vocabulary for expressing your delight of good food
Yeah,
is about 5 sounds.
that's it.
Mm.
I mean, bastard, I send you to Assam. I make you eat a bhoot jolakia. I send you to Paris. I make you eat a croissant. I send you to Finland. I make you eat something else. All you're going to do is fuck you.
That doesn't
Get fucked.
fill me, right? That doesn't help
What does
me
it do
survive.
for us?
Yeah, it's such a misguided passion. All you need, if you think about it, if you put like a really well-educated, high vocabulary guy, okay,
Maybe then.
even then
it is useless.
he can only use, like, what will I was flabbergasted
Yeah.
eating these French croissants.
Right.
No, it doesn't it doesn't suit, it doesn't bode well. Like,
Yeah.
I'm sitting right beside him, staring at him, like, okay, when are you going to pass a croissant?
That's it. I
That's
have
it.
to taste it for
Yeah,
myself.
fucking, like, just give it, I'm hungry.
Yeah.
That's all. Like, what is your response, okay, to somebody who's sitting beside you and eating this so-called exotic, I don't know, caviar or truffle chocolate, and just doing, what are you going to do?
Maybe.
You're already eating your meal, by the way,
Right.
right? And somebody's making these sounds.
Mm.
It doesn't give me any satisfaction.
Maybe smash the plate to their face or something. Because what am I going to do with your sounds?
For all I care, I'm losing my appetite because of your sounds. So that's the point, right? Like, food is overrated.
And they even fail to describe it properly. Their entire qualification is just eating the food, like putting food in your mouth. Like, at least if you could describe it properly in simple language, that would at least have some use.
Or
maybe.
just fucking say, eat it, it tastes good.
Yeah.
Period.
Oh, this is a little salty.
Yeah.
It is a little sweet.
You might not like it if
It is
you're
a little
like...
spicy. That's it.
I mean, how many more tastes are there? The tongue has like 6 taste buds or whatever, right? Sweet, sour, salt, whatever.
Whatever,
right?
yeah.
That's it. How many more tastes can you create? It's a matter of permutations and combinations. It's simple math, guys.
And
Don't like it. Both, it just baffles me to like think that something that goes into you, right, and then comes out in literal shit.
The same way.
the same exact way, right?
Yeah.
It's literal shit. Correct? How can you give so much of value to it?
I don't understand.
How does it matter what goes into you?
At least if it came out in different colors.
Something. I mean,
There is some variety.
there
to it.
has to be. I mean, I would, if you're a food blogger, right?
Right.
What I would genuinely appreciate
Mm.
is if you can eat if you can eat anything
Mm.
and then fucking shit like as if it can be put in a museum,
Right.
then I'll appreciate you.
Like crystalline structures.
Exactly.
Like multicolored.
Yeah, like how the glass forms when the lightning strikes in sand or some shit. I don't
Carbon
know.
forms.
Carbon forms. I don't know
Yeah.
what it's called. But you know the glass forms when the lightning strikes.
Yeah,
they do
yeah,
something.
yeah.
So if you can shit like that,
Then it's
then you are like, okay, bro, you got my respect.
exactly. And if there's any food that I can eat that doesn't make my shit smell bad, or rather, if it makes it smell like perfume,
Yeah.
you know, like if I can fart perfume now,
Yeah.
eau de cologne or whatever, then I'm paying attention to
Yeah.
my food.
Then food has something more than what it shows it is offering.
Yeah,
But unfortunately, the reality is none of that shit happens. Literal shit happens. And what's the point of you putting in something where the output is absolutely useless?
there's no point.
There's no point. And that brings us to the point that it doesn't matter what you eat. Food in general really doesn't matter. And if food, which is the pure fuel of our existence, doesn't matter,
What does that say about life and death?
if you're all this fucking effort to have, I don't know what you're even doing with life. I mean, I still don't have an answer. Bogus, enlighten me. If the whole point
Mm-hmm.
is to live a life
Mm.
and then again meet the inevitable, that is, you're going to die.
Right.
So you die.
You can't even schedule your death.
You can't. I mean, there's zero control. Like there's
No
no
control at
control system that you have
Yeah.
of how you're going to live to how you're going to die,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
And then you got to repeat it.
Mm.
And while you repeat it,
Mm.
you don't even remember what you did previously.
Yeah.
So what's the whole fucking point?
Where are those people who wanted freedom, by the way?
All these guys who are putting up play cards and asking for freedom. This one's for you.
Yeah.
Bitch, tell me what is it that really matters?
Yeah. Even if you go hyper scientific, right? Not even philosophical,
Okay.
not even spiritual,
Yes, let's
talking
let's-
about yugas and cycles and
Yes.
births and all that.
Yes.
Even if you go scientifically,
Yeah.
we're talking about parallel universes now.
Mm-hmm.
We're talking about multiverses now.
Yep.
Where there could be parallel universes where there's exactly the same version of me and you sitting and doing a podcast where now it's a sports podcast,
Yeah.
or it's a politics podcast,
Yeah.
or it is something. So which of those really matter?
None of them.
None of them matter.
None of them. Because we don't even know what the fuck we are talking about in the parallel universe.
And in a multiverse concept,
Yeah.
we are two guys.
Yeah.
In the next universe, we are two frogs in a pond,
Yeah.
just croaking.
Yeah.
In the next one, we are
Doing
just
a
two
frog
donkeys.
podcast.
Yeah, we are doing a frog podcast.
And then we're doing a donkey podcast.
Yeah,
And then we do an ant podcast.
which of these matters now?
None of them.
So
Yeah.
scientifically or spiritually?
You take it from any perspective. Bottom line is, if you can't remember shit
Mm.
of what you have done previously,
Yeah,
and if you have zero control of what you're going to be next,
yeah,
right? And on top of it, you don't even have a control, like literal, like absolute control
Mm.
on how your life is going to be, because there are a gazillion external factors on how you live,
Mm.
right? And then, most importantly, you don't even have control of when do you want to press the stop button.
Yeah.
I mean, you are in a place where there is absolute zero control. Then how does it matter what the fuck you think? Or what the fuck you want to do, what you want to be, blah, blah, blah. Everything that comes in the baggage.
That's it. We've come full circle. Life to death.
Yeah.
There's absolutely nothing that matters. This is the end of the podcast. This is where we would ideally tell you to subscribe or share.
Yeah.
But it doesn't matter.
Fuck it.
We would tell
Nothing
you our
matters.
socials. Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
This is just the end of the episode. The end.